We're about to teach you how to do pour over with a Hario V60. It doesn't get much cooler than this. Hey Umble Nation, welcome, and this is the expert edition to how to brew with the Hario V60. We're going to teach you all the tricks of the trade, and you're going to come out of this video knowing everything you need to know about how to make a great pour over at home. Let me tell you what you need first. So what you need on hand is, of course, you'll need some great coffee. Today we're using Front Runner, which is one of our main coffees. It's a single specialty coffee. And you'll of course need your brewer. With the Hario V60, you have ceramic, you also have a plastic version, and they have some other versions, like even a metal version. You also need your mug, you'll need some kind of scale, you need your kettle, you'll need your coffee, you'll need a grinder. We actually already ground our coffee for the video, but you'll need a grinder so that you can grind it fresh, you can get a great aroma out of it. And you'll need one of the special Hario V60 filters. Let me teach you a little bit about Hario V60. So the V60 design is actually, the 60 is named after this 60-degree angle right here that you see. One cool thing about the Hario V60 is it has these baffles or little rivets in here that will agitate the coffee just the right amount to give you the extraction that you need. Another difference with Hario V60 is, we've talked about Kalita Wave before. Kalita Wave has a flat bottom, okay? This has a pretty significant hole in the bottom, and it takes a totally different filter, and we're going to do some things different about how we do this kind of pour over because of that. Some videos will actually recommend a spoon as well to agitate the coffee when you're doing the actual pour over. We're not recommending that because I think that it adds one extra thing that you have to have on the table, but it also adds steps, whereas I'll show you how you can actually use the water to do all of your agitation and save you one extra thing to have on the table and to have to remember early in the morning when you actually need your coffee quick to get ready for the day. Here's another ninja trick. You don't necessarily have to swirl. You'll see some people will, after the bloom, swirl their coffee. But again, what we're going to do is just use our water and our pour itself to help with our agitation, and again, save us a step. We're ready to do our pour over. So start with water that's between 195 and 205 as far as temperature goes. And you have your coffee that you just ground. We're going to start with 20 grams of coffee, and I like to use a 1:15 coffee to water ratio. If you want to go a little less strong than a 1:15 ratio, I wouldn't recommend going any farther than a 1:16. We're going to put our filter in first. What I recommend with your Hario V60 filter is just fold the little area that is perforated. Once you do that, I usually will actually open it up and even just do one more fold so that when you're doing your pour over, you don't have issues with it buckling up the filter itself while you're doing the pour over. Key step here, you want to preheat not only your pour over device, but your mug itself, and that's going to help you get a really good cup of coffee. The other thing you're doing when you preheat with water is you're getting any kind of chemical taste out of the filter itself. Now we're going to get rid of that water. Sorry, put water in your trash can. You're ready to put in your 20 grams of coffee. What I want you to do is flatten out or shake or flatten out the coffee. But then here's a trick. and James Hoffman uses this, and I think it's a really, really good idea, is make a divot in the grounds themselves. What this divot within the grounds does is when you do the initial pour, the bloom, it evens out the distribution of the water so that you get from the very beginning an even extraction. This is different than, say, a Kalita wave or some of the other ways you can do coffee, but when you have this type of filter and this type of pour over device, you know, which comes down to a V or a cone, this is a great way to start it off right. Here's a quick summary of what we're gonna do. We started with our 20 grams. Our water temperature is between 195 and 205. Our initial bloom pour is going to be 30 grams of water, and then that's at 0 time or start time. At 45 seconds, you're going to add 100 grams. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're going to add another 100 grams. And then at 2 minutes and 30 seconds on your overall pour, you're going to add the rest of what would equal up to a 1 to 15 coffee to water ratio. The reason I use 20 grams and a total of 300 grams of water is even if you have a smaller cup, you're not going to chance overflowing the cup. Again, you can even go to a 1 to 16 ratio if you'd like to. So our pours, in summary, are going to be 30 grams, 100 grams, 100 grams, and then the rest. We're going to go ahead and start our pour. As I said, we're going to tare our system. If you don't tare, you'll be totally confused for the rest of the pour. We're going to go ahead and tare so that we can start. And then you just start your timer. You can start a timer here, or you can use your phone, whatever is easier for you. So we're going to start it here. And our initial pour is 30 grams. I like to use 10 grams above what the actual weight of the coffee was. So in this example, it was 20 grams, so we're going to start with 30. And like we said, our next pour will be at 45 seconds. We're going to do 100 grams. Just waiting. We're at 45 seconds, so we're going to add 100 grams. So now you're going to be at a total of 130 grams. We're at 1 minute and 30, so we're going to add another 100 grams. I usually like to make circles from the center out. And then if I get all the way out before I'm finished with my pour, I will work my circle back in as far as the pours themselves. I'm going to teach you another trick. The reason I do a lot of pours and some of the other professionals that you'll see do a lot of pours is you have more, fancy word here, heat capacity in the actual gooseneck kettle itself. So this is going to conserve your temperature in the range you want better than doing one massive pour here where you'll lose your temperature quicker. We're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so we're going to do our final pour to a total of 300 grams. So for us, that's going to be 70 grams. Boom. Got it right on the money. You want your pour to finish around 3 minutes and 15 seconds and 4 minutes. That makes a great cup of coffee. How do you know when you're close to the end of your actual pouring? I'll teach you a little trick here. I use the song from the Bee Gees, Staying Alive. I know I can't sing, but you get the point. That's the drip rate you want. All right, so once you get to that point that you are at that perfect beat as far as the drips to either Staying Alive or the same beat is actually Another One Bites the Dust. So that's the drip rate you want to know that you're finished with your pour over. Then that's it. You take your brewing device, pour out your coffee and filter, and you're ready to drink a great cup of coffee. Tastes good. So here's the thing, guys and girls. If your pour over tastes strong or what I'd call bitter, then next time just grind your beans coarser. That way it'll get through faster and you'll get to a nicer taste for your palate. If your coffee tastes too sour, or what I call wangy, if it tastes wangy, then you need to do a finer grind. But at the end of the day, no matter what I said on this video or any other video you watch, if the cup tastes good to you, that's all that matters. That's our goal. Umble Nation, if you like this video, give us that big thumbs up down there, hit that subscribe button, and do the notification so that we can update you when we have awesome videos, basically anytime. Have questions on how to do this or just want to comment, leave all of that stuff below and we will respond. If you want great coffee, go in the description down below, umblecoffee.com. If you want to watch another video, boom. If you want to subscribe, boom. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all. See you later.